So, sports manga are usually pretty good. We get to see aspects of sports that normally you would never get to see when you're watching a sport in real life. These stories also usually make for great human dramas. In Shonen Jump, there is a manga that has taken the world by storm for being able to tell an incredible coming of age story with sports as a highlight of the manga, and that manga is Blue Box. This manga is great for so many reasons, and I want to talk about this manga in this long overdue video. All of the characters in Blue Box have something in common. All of them are striving towards a dream. Each one of them has a goal in mind to achieve success in the sport of their choosing, and you can see them work really hard to really try to achieve their dreams. The main characters of Blue Box have so much determination. They are always the first ones in the practice and the last ones to leave. They work extremely hard to achieve their dreams, and it shows, as in the more recent chapters, we have finally started to see that culminate in success for them. When you have a dream, you want to work hard to achieve it. But even then, there are some people who go even beyond that. Those are the people who have even more passion and love for what they are doing that they have to keep trying harder. They also usually are the ones who believe they have no talent, so that causes them to work even harder. Achieving a dream is never easy, and having the work ethic like they have would help anyone achieve success in their dreams, no matter who they are or what your dream is. So even with dreams and determination, sometimes you can still end up losing yourself in the chaos of life. There are things that could prevent you from being the person you want to be. Life has plans for everyone, and sometimes it can lead you down a path you never would have expected. We can see some characters in this manga struggle with having lost themselves in the past or are currently going through it. We really get to see the struggle that they all go through as they try to solve their problems. Some of them just gave up on their dreams while others still struggled along and tried to make it work. But seeing all of that play out really makes you wonder if life really can be planned out. I mean, obviously it can't. You can never predict the direction your life will go in, but it's still an interesting thought. Talent versus hard work is a debate that will never end. We see Blue Box handle this topic as well. My favorite portrayal of it in the series is between Chinatsu and her old friend Yumika. Chinatsu is someone who, while talented, was never as talented as Yumika, but she made up for it with her extreme work ethic. She is like the Japanese female version of Kobe. She was always working to improve her game, but she was still never able to catch up to Yumika, but she never gave up. Yumika was someone with so much talent, and she knew it too. That's why she never really worked that hard to improve, because she knew she would always be the best. But she eventually gave up on the sport for a few years, and in that time, Chinatsu surpassed her. My thing is that talent can never beat hard work if talent doesn't work hard. That just means that it doesn't matter how talented someone is, if they don't work to improve themselves, then the person who constantly puts in all that effort will eventually surpass the talented person. Dreams and effort go hand in hand. If you don't work towards a dream, you will never achieve it. So you always have to work hard on improving so you can achieve whatever dream you have. Sports is a big part of the Blue Box story. It is the thing surrounding all the characters in the manga. I love how this doesn't just focus on one sport. It's cool to see a manga have an emphasis on two separate sports. It's rare for that, and in this case, for both of them to be covered very well as well. This manga allows us to see the sports in a new light as well. Like, before Blue Box, I knew basically nothing about badminton. I just knew that it was a sport about hitting a shuttlecock over a net. I have read another manga about badminton before, and that was a good read as well, but Blue Box gave me another perspective on the sport that I think is really cool and interesting. The second major sport in Blue Box is women's basketball. We don't focus as much on it as that's the heroine sport and not the main characters, but we do still get some focus on it, and we have seen that in some of the more recent chapters. Blue Box is a great manga that knows how to balance so many things at once and still be incredible. Besides being a sports manga, Blue Box is also a romance manga, and a damn good one at that. Most of the conflict of the story comes from the romance aspect. We see love triangles and side character romances, plus the main couple always having their issues until they eventually get together. The romance aspect of this manga is handled really well. It feels like a normal romance story while also balancing the sports aspect really well. I think that the most impressive thing about Blue Box is that it is able to essentially have two main genres in its story and be peak at both of them. Seeing the development of the romance in the story is awesome. I can't wait to see where the story goes in the future. Blue Box has some really incredible artwork in it. The art style is so stylized that it makes the manga feel so good. The way that the mangaka is able to draw the movement during a sports game is incredible. But even beyond that, the mangaka knows how to live in the moment and gives us so many panels where it is just a subtle change to really convey the emotions and the movements of the scene. It's not often that you see a manga with this level of skill right out of the gate, so it is really awesome to see this series doing things that not a lot of other manga can do. The art is really incredible though. The characters in Blue Box are amazing. The main duo is great, but there is also a really good side cast of characters that really advance the story and make it way more entertaining. So to start, let's talk about Taiki. He is a really hardworking guy who has a dream that he wants to achieve. He works really hard to achieve that dream, and so far he has come pretty close to achieving it. He also has a crush on his senpai, who is also in the gym at the same time as him, but their relationship also develops because they end up moving in together for a while thanks to her family going away. Taiki is a good guy though and respects her and doesn't do anything rash. Chinatsu is his senpai, who, as I was talking about, is also a very hardworking individual. She is striving for her dream and even stayed behind when her parents left so show that she could work to achieve her dream. She also has a crush on Taiki, but it takes her a long time to actually realize that because she has a lot of her own issues that she is dealing with throughout the story from before the story even starts. You can see how much respect she has for Taiki though, and that eventually culminates in their relationship blossoming. It is cool to see how their relationship slowly develops over time. Hina is one of Taiki's childhood friends. She also has a crush on him, and she is a lot more forward about it earlier on in the story. She is a very talented gymnast who works really hard at her craft. She is also a fun-loving person, very different from Taiki and their other friend, Kyo, who are a little more reserved. She is also quite mature for her age and doesn't get jealous, and also learns to move on rather quickly after getting rejected instead of letting it affect her friendship. Hina is a really cool character who I like to see appear in the story. One of the main focuses of the manga in more recent chapters has been the relationship between Kyo and Ayame. Both of them are fun characters and have a great relationship that we can assume will eventually develop further. They have a really fun dynamic to see when they are together, and seeing it develop will be awesome for sure because they are both great characters. There are other awesome side characters who are a little less prominent in the story but are still great in their own ways. The cast of this manga is actually so good and really enhances the story so much. Blue Box is one of those rare manga that can balance two contrasting genres and make them very cohesive in a way that hasn't really been seen before. That is what makes Blue Box so good and why so many people love the story to death. Okay, that was the video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. And if you do decide to join the community, then I guess I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!